sides of this house, how long must we tolerate this appalling state of affairs? How long is the Prime Minister going to allow this downward slide to continue? The country's going to the dogs. The pound is but a shadow of its former self, and our balance of payment deficit is farcical. It is high time, sirs, that the Prime Minister and the government took steps to find a remedy.
Well, I don't think things are all that bad. Could happen. It's not far off. Good health. You're all miserable because I'm the only one sitting there. You know, the only thing about toasting other people's health, that if you do enough of it, you screw up your own. And we are told that drink is the enemy of man. And yet the good book tells us to love our enemies. I love you, I love you. And one of the things I'm asked, why, when I sit down on the stool or the chair, why I cross my legs. It's very simple. If you sat here for as long as I do and drank as much as I do, you'd be sitting there. And cross-eyed. I was reading the other day. Abacada. That's the way I read. Took a degree in brain surgery. I was reading, actually, that regarding fashions, that people should dress according to the color of their hair. For example, if you've got brown hair, you should wear browns, and if you've got greyish hair, you should wear light and grey colours, and if you've got dark hair, you should wear dark colours. I wish there were more bald-headed women in the world. I was also reading about baldness. Do you know, they tell you, if you go bald from the front, here, from the front of the head, you go bald from the front because you have a great brain power. You're a great thinker. And if you go bald from the back up here, you go bald there because you're sexy. The odd fellow sitting out there going... I suppose that means if you go bald from here and here at the same time, you're just thinking about it. You know that there are actually 7 stages of ordering brandy and port. The first stage is brandy and port, please. Second stage is brandy and port, please. Third stage is brandy... Fourth stage is brandy... Fifth stage, hey, you fat bum, get in the drink! I'll tell you how! Sixth stage is... And the seventh is... You get a little fella at a party, cocktail party, goes up to the hostess and says, excuse me, madam, but do lemons have feathers? I beg your pardon? Do lemons have feathers? She said, I don't think so. Why? He said, well, in that case, I've just squeezed your canary into my drink. You get what I call the county set in England. One of those very, very beautiful county houses. A huge ball. Everybody is invited to this ball. And there's one old lady who's 93 years of age. And she's sitting there. And she's had a bit too much of the booze. She's been sipping at it all evening. And she thinks to herself, I haven't got long to live, and I'm going to do one exciting thing in my life before I die. I'm going to streak right through the ball. She goes into a room, takes all her clothes off, opens the door, and goes whoom, right through the ball. And there's 2 old fellas sitting there. Who was that? He said, I think it was Lady Daphne. He said, really? What was she wearing? He said, I don't know, but whatever it was, it needs a bloody good ironing. One of the things I find, actually, as an Irishman, living in England, I find the English an extraordinary nation. I really do, because you accept the Scots. You tolerate the Irish, but for some reason or another, you don't really like the Welsh. I mean, how many times have you heard English people saying, I don't really trust the Welsh? You get 2 fellas talking in the bar, one says, you know, I don't really like the Welsh. As far as I'm concerned, the Welsh are a nation of streetwalkers or rugby players. And the other fellow says, well, my mother's Welsh. Is it really? What position does she play? have in Ireland, we have two types of Irish. We have Irish and we have Anglo-Irish. And you can always tell the Anglo-Irish because they wear tweeds and carry shotguns. And they live in London. And this is a story about a very wealthy Anglo-Irish landowner who makes one of the girls in the village pregnant. And the mother goes to him and says, "You dirty beast, you dirty savage, sex maniac! You've destroyed my daughter of her honor! She's pregnant! And you're going to have to marry him! You're going to have to marry her!" And he said, "Madam, I cannot possibly marry your daughter." She said, "You will, you will." He said, "I cannot. Now let me understand. Make it quite clear. If I marry your daughter, I shall be disinherited from my fortune. I cannot marry your daughter, but I do love her. And I promise you that I will take care of her. The day the child is born, £5,000 per year will be paid into the bank to see that that child is educated and dressed. And on attaining the age of 21, £100,000 will be paid into that child's account. I've also bought a very large house for your daughter, and at the same time I am granting her £10,000 per year to look after the house and herself. And for you, madam, because of this embarrassment that I have caused you and the shame that I brought upon your name, I have written out a check for you today worth £25,000. And the woman's attitude changed. She said, "Oh, God love you." God, you're a lovely man. God, I love you. You're lovely. May God bless you and keep you. And even if you are a Protestant, I hope you'll go to heaven. And she walks away and she comes back and she says, "There's just one other thing. Can I ask you?" And he said, "What's that?" She says, "If my daughter has a miscarriage, will you give her a second chance?" Well, we are continuing to be given advice of all sorts. And the one piece of advice that we never seem to take, and it's a very good piece of advice, and that is to make love and not war. It's a lovely thought, that, isn't it? Make love and not war. There wouldn't be any conscientious objectors. Well, there's bound to be a few. Can you imagine that? The generals will be opening fronts all over the place. Getting mentioned in the dispatches for making love single-handed. Against overwhelming odds. He died with a smile upon his face. And actually, if you think about it, the words, "make love, not war," it would have really put Churchill's speech, wartime speech, into a completely different light. "We shall not flag or flare. We shall make love to them. In France and in the air. We shall love them in the beaches, fields, the hedgerows, the streets. We shall never surrender." I'm not surprised you couldn't pick up the bloody flag if you enjoyed it. Tell a nice gag, actually. The German sniper in the First World War. Telescopic sight. And he's standing very still. And the friend says, "What can you see?" He said, "I can see a British soldier." He said, "Why don't you shoot him?" He said, "He is talking to a French milkmaid. They are now going for a walk. They're climbing over a fence. They're now sitting down in the long grass. He is holding her hand. He is whispering in her ear. He is running his fingers through her hair. He's cuddling her now. They are now reclining in the long grass. I think we're going to be here for quite some time." The soldier's life is a life of give and take. The officers give the orders, and the soldiers take the orders.
Send the next recruit in, will you? Morning, sir.
Morning. Stand over there against the wall.
Yes, sir.
Close your left eye and read this card with your right.
Excuse me, sir. But,
Just read the card.
yeah, but, sir...
Look, my boy, the first thing you've got to learn when you join the army is to obey orders. So read the card.
Yes, sir. HBLOBGNLBYTLOBE.
Everything all right, Sergeant?
Oh, quite, sir. Oh, thank you very much, sir. Oh. Listen, sir. It's Jerry. Jerry singing.
Yes, Sergeant. Listen to what he's singing. A Christmas carol.
Happy Christmas, Jerry!
Happy Christmas, Tommy!
Jerry!
Yeah!
I have some whiskey. Would you like a drop?
Yeah! Tommy! I have some schnapps!
I'll meet you in no man's land.
Yeah!
No, it's a trick, sir. Don't go. It's a trick.
Sergeant, don't be ridiculous.
No, you don't understand. It's a trick, sir. A
I
trick.
get it.
Don't go. What a filthy trick, Mel. Hey, that's what I was trying to tell you, sir. It's not Christmas. It's April the 1st.
They've left it up to the lads of the 5th Highland Division.
All
right, Sergeant.
Right, sir.
Campbell.
Right, sir.
Donald.
Fine, sir.
Gregory.
Oh, sir.
I cannot impress on you the need for silence. All right, lads?
Aye.
The town hall will be ours in a few minutes. Right. Are you ready?
Aye, sir. Sure.
Remember, not a sound.
Aye, well, let's go. Our orders are to attack immediately, Sergeant. Sir, they'll shoot us down before we're halfway there. I wouldn't worry too much, Sergeant. I have a plan.
We have to make the full frontal attack. Aber, Lieutenant, the English Schweinhund will be shooting us down before we halfway there get.
Nein, I have the plan. Oh, you see, the Germans are rather like us. They'd never shoot an enemy in retreat. You mean it's part of their tradition, sir? Exactly. So what we'll do, we'll charge at them, but walking backwards. They'll think we're retreating. They won't shoot.
You know that the English are never shooting the enemies when they are retreating. Nein? Well, they are. And my plan is that we are walking towards them backwards. They think we are retreating, so they don't shoot.
And then we're about halfway there, we'll turn and charge at them for real. We'll catch them by surprise and frighten the knickers off them. Military genius, that's what you are, sir. Thank you, sir.
Then suddenly we are turning about, rushing at them across their trenches, and catching them unawares with their panties down. Oh, wunderbar!
All right, then, men. Over we go.
Now pass the word to the men. Yeah.
Don't shoot until you see the whites of their eyes, Sergeant.
Men, not to fire until the whites of their eyes you see.
You know, one of the things that we are very sure of in this ever-changing life is the basic difference between men and women. And I'm not talking about two babies looking down the knickers saying, "Vive la différence." I'm talking about contrasts in attitudes. For example, a woman is the only person in the world who can say no and mean yes. You put your arms around her and she goes, "No, no." Whisper in her ear, "No, no, no." You put your arms around her, "No, no, 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 no." Yes, 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 yes. And they can also actually say yes and mean no. Same thing. Two arms around, kiss and cuddle. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. You move your hand up there and go, "No, no, no, no." Women are... the mother actually teaches the daughter from a very early age to say no. She spends all her life telling the daughter, say no. If a boy makes advances to you, say no. And actually, you can always get around it. Because all you have to do is rephrase the question. Instead of saying, "Can I put my hand on your knee?" She'll say no. What you do is say, "Do you mind if I put my hand on your knee?" From then on, you're flying. I just wish mothers would teach the daughters to say yes and save us all a lot of time. And women are very determined to have the last word. I'm quite sure it was a woman who invented the word amen. You know, I knew a woman who went out of her mind trying to have the last word with her own echo. And women actually are much more artificial than men. You wear wigs, you wear false eyelashes, false nails, false boobs, even high heels to give you a false impression of height. It's very unfair on us fellas. Because you're in a bar, you see what you think is a beautiful girl, you take her home, she goes up to the flat, takes all this stuff off, and you finish up making love to a pale, bald, flat-chested, gummy midget. You get a fellow who's been married to a nagging wife for years and takes her to the zoo. And the gorilla's looking at her. Suddenly he tears open the door of the cage, grabs the woman, pulls her in and closes the door, and starts to take her clothes off. And she's going, ah! She looks at her husband, she says, do something! He said, I can't do anything. I'm locked on the outside. You're on the inside. She said, well, what am I going to do? He says, do what you do with me. Tell him you've got a headache. Can you imagine the gorilla doing it? Going, she goes, I have a headache. And he goes, You get a fellow who's got a real nagging wife. For years she nagged him for years. And eventually he's dying. And he has hidden his money in the house. And she knows he's hidden it, but she doesn't know where it is. And she goes to him, she says, where have you hidden the money? And he goes, she says, downstairs? And he goes, under the floorboards downstairs. And he goes, and off she goes. And she tears the house to pieces, tears the floorboards up, and finds nothing. And is running back up the stairs to talk to him and meets the doctor who says, your husband has made a remarkable recovery. He's fine. He's sitting up in bed, just needs a lot of hot soup. Look after him. And she runs into him. And she says, you're better. And he goes, yes, I am. She said, when I asked you about that money, where were you pointing to? He said, I wasn't pointing. I just didn't have the energy to do... I really do think for a relationship to work between a man and woman, there must be love, there must be understanding, but above all, there must be a mutual respect for the respective roles that those people play within that partnership.
Do you love me?
Of course I love you.
How much?
I love you more than anything in the world.
Really?
Curtains.
Oh, my God, it's my husband! Oh,
What? Where? What?
A moment. I am your husband. I want to talk to you. Darling! Your bath is ready.
Sorry, darling, I'm going to hurry.
No, you right. Me Jane, you Tarzan.
No, me Jane, you Tarzan.
No, you Tarzan, me Jane.
No, me Jane, you Tarzan.
No, you Tarzan, me Jane. Pickle walnuts and ice cream. I could never actually figure out when I used to watch the shows. You notice the use of the word used to. When I sit on a stool, I could never figure out why I worked to one side, to the left or to the right. And the more I watched it, it suddenly dawned on me one day, it's actually because I cross my legs. And when I cross my legs to the left, like that, it does tend to turn my body, and I work over there. And then if I do that, I tend to work to that side. Which basically means, if you want to go straight in life, don't cross your legs. And I know that I sit here, and I do tend to kind of twitch occasionally. I do odd things. I do that, and people ask me, is it dandruff? Well, actually, it is dandruff. It's not mine. There's a fellow working up there. He's always looking down and saying, I don't like that gag, and I don't... And when I'm sitting here, I generally know, or the performer will know, which camera to work to because of the light. There's a little red light that goes on the top of the camera. And I don't like that myself. I don't work that way. Because if a red light goes on, I start thinking of other things. And you sit there and you think that I'm actually twitching and things like that. And I'm not. It's a very secret code between the director and I, because he's in a box somewhere over there. And he can't see me, and I can't get in touch with him. So I've devised a little code. For example, to you, I'm just scratching my left ear. But to me, it means I want to work to that camera there. And if I do that, it means... Do that. Occasionally I do that. That means nothing. It's just my bum is itching. If I do that, it means where the hell did you get this bloody audience from? If I do that, like that, it means I am asking for a close-up. Very close camera shot. Because it means my glass is empty and there's a fella sneaking in here. And if I do that very rapidly, like that, it means, will you show some sketches because I'm bursting to go to the loo. But we've had to do away with it, because I do twitch anyhow. I forget completely about the code, and I'm in the middle of the gag and I do that, or I do that, or I do that, I do that, I do that, I do that. I keep on going until Peter doesn't know where the hell he is, you see? And it's... Okay. So we had to throw it away. But one of the things I do like, actually, I do love about working in the BBC, is that we have all the facilities to be whoever you want to be. We've got all the makeup and we've got all the costumes. And let's face it, everybody loves to dress up. I mean, there is the ham in all of us. Well, none of you are Jewish. And one of the great things, one of the lovely things about dressing up, it's a form of escapism. It gets you away from the realities of today. I mean, you can't possibly dress up as Frankenstein or Dracula or Robin Hood and think about such mundane things as strikes or unemployment or the devaluation of the pound. You've got much more interesting things to think about, like, where is my next pint of blood coming from? Igor, you think the transplant will work? Or who's made Marion? Or better still, who hasn't made Marion? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking because I'm talking about escapism and Robin Hood and costumes, it's a kind of backhanded way of introducing some sketches in costume. And you're right. God, you're a clever lot. If I'm not careful, you'll do the show without me.
Lads! Short little dog!
Hello, Robin. What have you invented today, then?
I've invented an invisible, arrow-proof vest.
Oh, really? Good! I haven't put it on!
Holmes, I've had this idea. My dear Watson, how many times must I tell you, do not interrupt me when I am thinking?
I'm sure you're wise tangling with this fellow, Holmes. They do say that... Well, damn it, they say the fellow's in league with Satan. He can cast all sorts of spells, work any sorts of evil, even at a distance.
My dear Watson, you are living in the Middle Ages. It takes more than a lot of superstitious tommy-rot to put me off a case, which, if I am not mistaken, is his intention. As you are aware, Watson, my methods are based on science. As for all this silly business of casting spells, all I can say is, Watson, grow up. Grow up.
Well, I must say, I don't think it's for me to grow up.
The human brain, this is the damaged part, as you can see. This is the dull area. This is...
Kill! No, not kill! Kill! No!
Listen, not kill. Love, not kill. Love.
Love,
Not kill.
not kill.
Love.
Love, not kill.
Oh, Josephine, what am I to do? This man Nelson is everywhere. I send my ships to here, he is here. Then I send them back to there, and he is there. Yesterday I ordered my invasion fleet to sail from Toulon. And today this Nelson is there blockading them. How does he know my every move even before I make it? Oh, dear Josephine, comfort me. Comfort me.
You fat Corsican. Tell me about your battle plans for tomorrow. Come to me, my brides. Look at me and listen well. Mina, I will be with you from midnight till 2. With you, Melissa, from 2 to 4. With you, Audrey, from 4 to 5 past. 2 to 5, and with you to sunrise. Away, prepare yourselves. Come, Mina. Are you surprised that we vampires sleep all day? One of the things that worries me, actually. I lie about at night and I wonder about it. Dying. I don't actually worry about dying. I worry about sex after death. It's the only reason I'm staying alive. I'm taking no chances. Can you imagine having it away with a spooky? You like eating candy floss, wouldn't it? Because the man dies and his wife goes to a spiritualist to try and get in contact with him. And they sit down at the table and join hands. All of a sudden the room goes very cold. And the medium tells the lady that her husband is in the room and that she can talk to him. And she said, Peter, can you hear me? And the voice said, yes, I can hear you. She said, are you all right, Peter? I said, yes, thank you, I'm fine. Peter, are you happy? Yes, I am very happy. Peter, are you happier than when you were with me? When we lived together? When we made love? When we kissed and talked? He said, yes, I am happy. She said, you really are very happy. He said, I am exquisitely happy. She said, it must be lovely to be in heaven, Peter. He said, I'm not in heaven. I think I'm turning all the ladies against me. No. Get a nun. Gets up in the morning and leaves and walks down the corridor. And another nun looks at her and says, it's a difficult thing to say, I'm not a nun. And says, you got out of the wrong side of the bed this morning. And she goes on down, and another nun says, you got out of the wrong side of the bed this morning. And this happens 15 times, and by then she's livid. And she meets the Mother Superior. And the Mother Superior is just about to open her mouth, and the sister says, don't tell me that I got out of the wrong side of the bed this morning! And the Mother Superior said, I wasn't going to say that. I was just going to say, what are you doing with the bishop's shoes on? Religion. Religion is one of the most necessary things in life. I don't know about the afterlife, because by then it's a bit late. Anyhow, here's to religion. God bless it. You have a confession to make, my son.
Oh, it's not so much a confession, Father. I just come to tell you I've done what you suggested.
Suggested?
Don't you remember? Last week, I confessed to stealing 2 cases of whiskey and 500 cigars.
Whiskey? Cigars?
Yeah, and you suggested I went to the police and told them where I hid them. When we got there, it all gone. I don't understand it, Father, because only you and me knew the hiding place.
Ah, well, my son, you're not a sinner in my eyes.
Oh, cheers, Father.
Can't trust anybody nowadays.
Gathered here today to pay tribute to Irving Rose, truly a pillar of the English theatre. not perhaps the legitimate theatre, but the theatre of the Christmas pantomime. A man who always chose to play a villain. In his betrayal of such villains as the Demon King, Nazar, the Sheriff of Nottingham, I can safely say without argument that Irving Rose was the greatest villain ever to walk upon the pantomime stage.
Rubbish!
Rubbish! Oh, yes, he was. Oh, yes, he was.
Oh, no, he wasn't.
Oh, yes, I was.
Perhaps you're right.
He wasn't. I never do gags about politicians. I never try to get laughs from politicians because I think they do a very good job on their own. Well, I'll tell a gag about a certain prime minister. I won't say which one because prime ministers will come and go, but a good gag will last for a long time. This is a story about a prime minister in number 10, and his private secretary comes in and said, Mr. Prime Minister, you have two guests. One is His Holiness the Pope, and the other is one of the oil sheiks from Arabia. And the Prime Minister said, well, which one do you think I should see first? And the secretary said, I would say that you should see the Pope first, because the only thing you've got to do with him is to kiss his ring. You get, or in Italy, in Rome, a great ball for all the embassy staff and all the legation staff. Tremendously important ball. And they all arrive there, and there's one fellow who's a touch of the drink too much. And suddenly he spots the Scarlet Lady. And he thinks, I love her. I am going to spend the whole evening with her, drinking and dancing and kissing. And he goes straight over to the Scarlet Lady, and he says, I demand this dance with you, because I love you, and we're going to dance the whole evening together. And the Scarlet Lady looked at him and said, I am not going to dance with you for 3 reasons. One is that the music is not a plain waltz. It is the Italian national anthem. 2 is that you are drunk. And the 3rd reason is that I am Pope Paul VI. And I don't dance with fellows. Religion, actually. The strange thing is that people will fight for what they call religion. And you get the 2 characters, the priest and a Protestant vicar, arguing about religion. And the Catholic priest says, our religion is the right religion. And the Protestant says, you're a liar! That is not the right religion! The Protestant religion is the right religion! That is not, it is, that is not, it is! And eventually, just when it's getting close to blows, the Catholic priest says, hold on a second now. We must agree to differ, you and I. Because if we look at it sensibly, we're both working for the same fella. We've both got the same boss. So all I can say to you is, you go off and you teach his teachings in your way, and I will teach his teachings in his. The good thing, actually, is that religions are becoming much more tolerant of each other. They're losing the competitiveness. There's a greater understanding and sympathy. And I'm quite sure that if things continue in the same vein, it won't be very long before we see His Holiness paying a visit to this island for the very first time.
His Grace the Archbishop of Canterbury waits patiently as we near this historical and unique moment when the Primate of all England welcomes His Holiness the Pope on English soil for the very first time. And as His Holiness approaches, the Archbishop steps forward to embrace him.
Oh! Who's it? Oh, foot! Oh, push it apart! You dare do that. All right, come on, go. You're right. Please, I ask your forgiveness.
Forgive me. I began this thing.
No.
I hit you first.
No, I ask your forgiveness.
Oh, please, Father, I began this.
No, you didn't. I started. Don't you push me like that, huh? We're starting again, huh? Come on. We be friends, huh?
Yes, Heavenly Father.
Yeah, good, huh? Now, tell me, what is it like, huh?
Thank you. Good night. And I think I'll change it tonight and say, may my God go with me.
Bodie is framed for assassination and hounded by Doyle and CI5. Next in The Professionals.